Welcome back, everyone, to the finale for Pineleaf Plays the Burglar, where we are going to see how this party goes.
The day has finally arrived.
Yes, I have a few more preparations to make in order to get my house presentable for guests, but I am nearly ready. Let me know if you are willing to help. Yes, let us go.
The day of the party has finally arrived, and Bingo has sent you outside to greet the arriving guests.
Ooh, and it looks like Bingo's neighbors have decided to attend. Hello. Hmm, she's a bit suspicious, I think. Well, I suppose it would be rude not to attend Bingo's party, so here we are, Petronella. Do you think he's forgotten that business about the petition I began before I left on this adventure? I would appreciate it if you did not remind him about it. I'm not going to remind him of it, okay? Who else has Bingo invited, Petronella? I assume many of the Shire's most notable families are represented. Well, some of them coming along now, Myrtle. This Shire is very quaint, both like and unlike Mar Talhow. Ooh. I told you we'd find this place, Ruth. Bah! Well, these must be Bingo's neighbors. Ye also on the way to the party? Well, hello, Petronella. Oh, hello, Eola. I know the invitation was intended for me, but the Meyer wanted to see Bingo's home for himself. And before you could say to Greenrod, half the town had invited themselves along. Are you folk hobbits? Not from the Shire, certainly. Is it possible? These hobbits have come from far away, haven't they? Oh, what's this feeling, Petronella? It is a wholly unusual. A desire to explore the unknown and to see far-off lands fills my heart. Oh, someone else is coming up the road. Lockhart. Oh, on second thought, I think I'm fine without adventure in my life. I hope I have not missed the party, Petronella. Oh, where's Bingo? Oh, he's inside getting ready. Oh, what? Maraventhor? Uh, uh, hello there. Oh, good greetings to you, Petronella. I know I did not receive an invitation to Bingo's party. No, don't worry. I do not begrudge him that, nor did I expect one. I spoke with him only briefly, a long time ago, and was compelled by other duties at the time. Well, I was recently in Rivendell at the behest of the Lady Galadriel, and while there I spoke with quite a fellow. Bilbo was his name, and it seems he's quite eager to read Bingo's book. He told me about the party and that he sadly would not be able to attend, and I told him I would go in his behest and report back concerning Bingo's progress on his book. To that end, I have prepared a large quantity of ink and have brought it with me as a gift to Bingo. May his quill never run dry. Well, that is good of you, Madam Thor. Quite good of you. Oh, hello there, Petronella. Oh, look who I found along the road. Oh, Willow Whisker and his family. Oh, dear, do these things eat hobbits? It's a pleasure to meet you. Are you also skin changers like this woman? No, Willem is not a skin changer like those in my family, but he does seem to have quite a family of his own. Hmm, yes. Oh, uh, Bert Bartleby. Hello. Yeah, I am sad to report that none of my brothers will be able to make it to the party today, Petronella. They all have obligations in other lands, but I have promised that old Rattlepax and I would represent the Bartleby family to the very best of our abilities. Now, where's our host? I am ready to have a plate or two of tasty victuals. Let's go inside. Yes. The party seems to be going along quite well. Yes. And here is Priska's family with Camellia carrying things around as usual. Oh, hello there, Merrimack. I have not been able to get a word in edgewise. I do not remember agreeing to leave the Shire, but Viola seems to think I did. What has this party gotten me into, Petronella? Well, yeah. Sorry about that. Well, what do you say, Violet? There are many ferocious creatures in the woods of the Gloomglens, but as distant cousins, ye must possess the same skills as we. Mm, I should tell you about Shire hobbits. Yes, we'll be able to avoid their notice, Merrimack, and visit us straight away. Oh, hello, Petronella. I have been telling those good folk that they should come visit us in Mardolo and enjoy their traditional welcoming feast as Bingo did. Uh, Shire hobbits do have a habit of overindulging. I should warn you about that. Oh, looks like that Ruth there is quite interested in that painting. Yes, if they eat as much as Bingo, they will need also to enjoy the traditional week of recovery following such a feast. But oh, we would have a place for them. I hope they will come to visit. Uh, what do you say, Eola? Oh, my sister is quite taken in with the Merrimack fellow. I do not think he seems as happy about this fact as she is. Well, yeah. Well then, let's see. Hmm. Nonamira, how's the book going? Bingo's manuscript is very good so far, Petronella, but I do wish he showed a little more proficiency with spelling and grammar. This book will need some refinement before I am comfortable in placing it in the library shelf. All right, I'll see if I could find him an editor then. Well, what do you think, Marvinthor? Bingo has amassed quite a collection of books. I'm impressed with his scholarly dedication, and I wonder what the great collection of my people are missing from their lack of Hobbit literature. Hmm. It was very nice of Bilbo Baggins to give me his invitation while I visited Imladris. Oh, and Priska, of course, is resting. It is good to sit down for a moment. All of my children are occupied for now, and I can have a moment to myself. I should tell Cousin Bingo to host these parties more often. Hmm. All right. Now, let's see. What do we have this way? Oh, Theodore and Bert. Okay, Theodore seems to have arrived. Hello, Theodore. This has been quite an adventure, Petronella. I do not know what Haley and I will do from here on out, but I do not doubt that it will be an experience full of danger and excitement. Oh, do not tell her that I said this, but I do think that without her at my side, I might have gotten into over my head a time or two in that adventure. Nothing I wouldn't be able to solve myself, of course. You were a help too, from time to time, once or twice. What I am trying to say is that even as experienced an adventurer as Theodore Gorse needs friends from time to time. Yes, now then, enough of the sugary platitudes. My past is magnificent. My present is satisfactory. I defy you to disappoint me, future. Well, what do you say about that, Bert? I must ask Leodore where he got his hat. I would like to add it to my collection. What? Oh, hello, Adelinda. Ah, I can remember such a fine parties as this. It has been a long time, and even longer than death, for things have not been well enough for parties in all the kind. But when I was a mere lass, not more than 8 or 9, I remember the excitement of a gathering of friends. Did I come to be here? Why, I found a curious attachment to this horseshoe that you've been carrying around. Perhaps some small portion of its metal came once from Arnheim long ago, and it was combined with other metals during the years since? I cannot say, but as I am bound to the place of my curse, that is a good reason as any as I can fathom. I am delighted to see such a merry gathering once again, though I deserve it not. Still, I thank you for bringing me here, however unknowingly. Uh, you, you're welcome? Well, what do you say, Milo? This is a nice table. I don't see any scuff marks on it at all, and yet, judging from Bingo's dancing upon the tables and the prancing pony, he must have gotten some practice in the art from somewhere. Well, how about that? And what do you say, Griffo? I thought this was a dinner party. What is it taking people so long to get dinner on the table? This rumbling in my belly has drowned all the conversations if we don't eat soon. Griffo. Griffo. Ah, well, both Eagwolf and Lockhart managed to make it, and so is Will and Whisker apparently. Enjoying a pie. I did not expect so many people to come to my party. Surely I did not send out this many invitations. Well, actually, you did send out quite a few, Bingo. I'm pretty sure you did send out a few of them. Well, okay, Bert Bartleby, I guess you must have talked to him yourself. Oh, yes, Willem even made the journey, and he brought his mate and his many cubs. Priska's children all seem to have taken with them. I must remind WW to count his cubs carefully when it is time for the Lynx's friends to return home. All right. Well, I'll ask him. I guess we'll just make sure that he does so. All right. Now, what else have we got? Oh, Marigold and Spalvey are over there. Oh, those two made it. I see. And here is Dinodas, and apparently he invited Celadine Brandybuck with him. And Angelica Boffin, of course. You always there to help the animals. Ooh, look how cute they are! And their fur seems so soft. I love them all. I see what Bingo means. Well, what do you say, Dinadas? When you and Bingo came to Newbury to visit, you beheld me at my lowest point, Petronella. But after a year of courting, Celandine Brandybuck finally agreed to attend a social gathering with me. All I needed was a party to attend with her. And so, when my mother said that Bingo, my first cousin once removed, was hosting a dinner party, well, it seemed like the providence most fortuitous. But alas, She's spending the whole time fawning over these lynx cubs and sparing not a moment for me. Cruel fortune, cruel, cruel fortune. Oh well. Well, what do you say, Marigold? Haley is incredible and remarkable, especially for one of the big folk. She's telling me all about her adventures. Did she really descend into the lair of a dragon and emerge once again after waking it up? What? You were there too, Petronella? That certainly is something. I need to find a dragon of my own to best. Marigold, I can assure you, besting dragons is not easy. What do you say about that, Haley? I like this hobbit lass. She is most attentive and reminds me somewhat of myself when I was her age. Uh, mm, oh, I'm sorry. Hobbits age differently than my folk, don't they? Marigold is indeed a child, right? Still, I am sorry to have spoken so thoughtlessly. Spending so much time around Theodore may have brought me down to his careless level. What a frightening thought! Yeah. Oh well. Well, how do you like it here, Spalvey? We certainly had quite an adventure, didn't we, Petronella? I do hope you will remind Bingo of our part in it, so that he does not leave our contribution out of his account. He spent much of my portion waterlogged and not knowing who he was, so he might not have much to say about it. Though, on the other hand, it's occurred to me that perhaps you should not remind him of my contribution, Petronella. I think that perhaps not all dwarves are meant to be written about. Yeah. Well, it seems like Kettle has been admiring this painting. Oh, what? Oh, you're admiring that map down there. Is this map accurate? There certainly are a lot of villages in the Shire. I respect their burrows, and a hobbit hole seems to be a very tidy place to live, but I could do with a little more in the way of a large echoing chambers, and not a great hall in sight. How do hobbits live like this, Petronella? Oh, we prefer quieter ways, I'm sure. Well, let's see if we're ready for dinner. Hello, Bingo. It is nearly time for dinner, Petronella, but there's still one small matter to which I'd like to attend. It will not take long. Do you have a moment? All right. I suppose we have a moment. Do you remember what started this adventure, Petronella? I do. I remember very well. I was lonely, and I was bored. Every day seemed much the same as any other. I thought if I hosted a dinner party for my neighbors, it would break up the routine. And that is when I met you, Petronella. I asked you to retrieve a cookbook from the library. I thought it might contain the perfect recipe to serve at my dinner party. Instead, I found a map and the strangest feeling I've ever known. The desire to set forth on a journey and adventure beyond the Shire. You have been my true and loyal friend ever since then, Petronella. I cannot thank you enough for that. I sought a recipe at the beginning of this adventure, and indeed, I found one. The perfect recipe for a happy life. The best friends a hobbit could hope to have. Every adventure comes to an end someday. But I am so grateful to have taken this adventure with you. As usual, I have let my words get away from me. Thank you again, my dearest friend. Now, let's eat. Such a nice dinner.
I must confess, I am sad to see our journey end.
Yes, I don't know what to say. We've been through so much together on this journey, and I must confess I'm sad to see it end. I have made so many friends on this adventure, and I think the attendance at my party has proven I made even more than I realized when I was writing out the invitations. But none of them are as dear to me as you, Petronella. You're quite the burglar, and a loyal friend. You're welcome to call at my humble home at any time. I must see to finishing my book, and once that is done, who can say? I have had a taste of adventure, and what is a book without a sequel? Oh, I'm only teasing, Petronella. Uh, Mostly. Farewell for now, my good friend, and I will see you again, and I look forward to the tales we will tell on that day. Quite a number of tales.
I have collected many fine items during my travels.
And it looks like once you finish with him for the final quest, you could have Will and Whisker or Old Rattlepax as your companion. And that concludes the Ballad of Bingo Boffin. I created this character originally to a running Bingo Boffin, and I think the end of the story is the perfect place to end this series. So thank you everyone for following me along with this adventure, both with Bingo Boffin and also with my half attempts at playing the burglar. But that is it for my turns for my time around with Petronella Turner here, and I'll see you in another series in the future. But until then, this is Pineleaf Needles reminding you to skirmish responsibly.